Hey, how's it going? Just driven all the way back. Time to do some modifications. So I was thinking that there's no need for it to be this size anymore because it's only this wide and this tall, and you know, it's these proportions to fit within the beginner outpost base. And there's just no need for that anymore if we're not going to be sticking to those sizes. If it's going to be a bit longer or a bit wider, then I mean, it's longer and taller, then why not really just overcommit and make it nice and fat? So I think I'm going to change the outer shape and maybe make it a little bit longer. And I had also thought perhaps I can use the large pistons because they will give more power, which means it's going to have to be bigger, or I just use more medium pistons. The other thing I was thinking about is this is so much wasted space. Even if I wall it off, there's like nowhere for rooms or anything down here. So I think making it just wider in general would be a good move. I think I'll change the bridge as well. You know, like I think I'm going to change most of this. Let's just build a new hull. New hull. I can probably use some existing parts and then just like modify. Okay, here's my proposed new bow shape. It would have like a big bumpery thing on the front here as well, so it'd need to come down to like here. But I think it can do like this kind of thing, where it just curves off at the top. I don't know what I'm doing. I really wanted this like front top section to be a 1x4 wedge, but then I won't be able to get any like little holes cut into it. You know what I mean? And the deck, 1, 2, 3, 4, because the deck will have to go there. And so unless I do this kind of thing, but that seems a bit odd. It would be better if yeah, what do you think? Much bigger, isn't it? It's so much bigger. It's ridiculous. So I guess the idea is that there is a lot of space on this. I've saved this tugboat so I can quite happily delete a bunch of stuff off it for removing it. This is no problem. This won't end badly. Okay. So there's like this front deck thing. It's so massive. But then I can have like a little walkway thing above here. I'm looking at some pictures and they've got windows that are like up here. They're actually on the side. I feel like this is not correct. This is like trying too hard to be like something else, and so it screws up everything. Get rid of this. There'll be no windows. If there are windows, they will not be that big. Am I making a bad decision by trying to make this too big? It's not actually that much bigger. It's just like it looks a lot bigger because it's got this big humpy thing on the front and a lot more deck space. I think I will round off this very front bit though, and I can do it with 2, 1, and then 2. And I will be able to split up this internal space and give myself like all my living areas back. And then, oh, maybe I should do, if I do curved rails up here, then it would be good to have, I think this one becomes a 1. How does this work? This one. So if I go 2, 2, then I get the kind of curve that I like to use for curved rails. Oh, you know what? I should put a door and a staircase here. So if I leave the middle block where it is, I might need to shuffle it around a bit. Oh, So now there's like access down inside from the front while also having stairs up. And then the bridge can go on top of that. Stairs on both sides. There's rails. There's enough space up here that I think that works. And perhaps I should move these stairs. I should move one set of stairs. And it's probably going to be this one. Maybe I shouldn't. I was just thinking about evening up the rail, but it's okay. It's not bad if it's going to be real goofy like that. Now, the reason for doing that is to get a winch on the front here, but I don't even know if I want a winch, to be honest. Like, these winches are kind of goofy. You'd want to put it on some kind of platform, I guess, or even just lift it up with some wedges. Maybe just on the front and back. I don't know about that. I'll come back to it though. I think getting a rail there is pretty good. I'm not really following any rules for this. I'm just I've put these rails down at intervals of 8 because I think I'm going for like a 4 wide gaps, but it's not really following any rules. So then the bridge will be up here and it's also going to be raised up. I want the bridge to be like high enough that I can get some really tall windows on it and you can see over everything. And then there'll be like maybe some stairs or something into the back section of it, or maybe up one side and then cutting into the side. I don't know. I need to put on some kind of thing at the back for like funnels. And I had thought perhaps it would just extend back here. And then use the same 1x4 kind of thing. I think counting stuff is what's screwing me up, you know, like trying to make things match nicely when it's counted out. Like doing things in 4s and 5s. Okay, I've put in this little like rescue patch on the side. I really want to write rescue here and like put some paint blocks around it, but I also want to make sure you can actually grab the ladders. So I'm thinking that the ladders should just be stacked up down low. Then I can put in some words here and it won't matter unless you're like trying to grab the very top, which should be okay. I could also like cut out every second one, but that's going to be a real pain in the ass if you're in the water. So then I've just got to like shape this back up a little bit and smack it on here. And I want to have one of these keel things. I don't know what they're called really. Is it called a keel? I'm going to try and hide barrels inside it. Well, I'm going to hide barrels inside it, which means I need to make it fat so that you don't see them. Or I don't really feel like using a real big stretched wedge. That might look a bit strange. I don't think I'm going to get the shape I want if I'm using like a round kind of edge on this. It'd probably be better to just do some XML to hide some pieces, or just make it really fat. I could just make it fat. Big fatty. Big fatty fatty. Yeah, why not? Why not? I'm just putting a 1 wedge down on the bottom to make sure I can get any kind of strange bits I come across. I don't really want to use this piece because A, it looks very similar to what Mongoose was doing, and B, if I want to do that on my search and rescue ship, then I'm going to end up with some very similar looking things. It'd be nice if everything was a little bit unique. Do you think this piece will just like magically attach? Because the rear did take me a lot of work. Magic. That's way too small. Also, it's like completely different. So even though the like below deck area is so much bigger, I am going to block it off a little bit. This section here is going to be like barrels in the middle, but then there'll be a stabilizer that goes over top of it. 3 barrels there, and now I'll need to fill in, I think, this little bit up the front with just weight blocks. Some little gaps. And then I can run barrels like all the way down here. And by doing this, I'm really hoping that I won't need to focus my furnace, boiler, or pistons anywhere specific. I can try and keep them kind of central. And then I'll run them sideways on top of that. I mean, that's quite a lot of weight to be putting down low. I think I will curve the bottom of it off though. Maybe? Perhaps? You kind of have to curve all of it off if you do that. Maybe I'll just leave it. Okay, and then the rear just needs to be like kind of big. And I'm going to use the same curve, I think. A little bit shallower though. Instead of 2 of these 1x4s, I'll just do one 1x4 and then widen the center. I want it to be a lot sharper, so perhaps I'll get rid of the 1x4 section. I don't know how to do this part. I want to bring it down in the middle. Maybe lower? Nah, that's too low. Yeah, something like that. This is the shape I want from this side, but then on this side it's kind of too flat. I guess I could, it's like I need a XML'd one that's like, basically I need this, but I need to stretch it to be 8, I think. I might just leave it like that for now because it's probably a bit of screwing around. It's maybe not as smooth as the front because it's missing the 1x4s, but it's the right kind of shape. Very square, isn't it? Very square. And then I need to really send this one down, send the back down. I tried to make this like thing on the back where like if you had a rope going over it, it might like catch the rope within there. I think if I put in some, is it a temperature? Yeah, these things that look kind of like you could wrap a rope around that. Maybe they should be right in the middle. So you can put a rope through the middle and then you could like wrap ropes around these other sections as well if you wanted. Okay, now I'm going to try. Oh, this is going to suck. I just need somewhere to put fluid jets. And I think because this is so tall now, if you have a look, remember the biggest steam piston. Ooh. The medium would look real funny in here. But the big one, if I make the deck too higher or too lower, if I lower, it's kind of not a very tall boat anyway. If I just had another 1x2 wedge down and cut the whole bottom and drop the whole bottom section down, then I can fit the biggest piston in here. I'm just going to cut this, I think. Go 1, 2. Move it back 1, and then I can put lovely wedge on the front. The floor needs to come down. Oh, crap. What? Okay, and then the one level for my roll stabilizer, and then the big old piston. Ah, that's so funny. This is out of control. I'm out of control. I wonder if it needs to become wider because it's long. It's very long, but not very wide. That wouldn't be too bad because I would just cut it in the middle and spread it all out. I might do that actually before I start messing around with the rear section. What's the rear of a boat? Is it called a stern? So I'm just going to cut it basically from here and move it across. Let's go like 1, 2, 3. Is that going to be enough? It's going to be 6 extra wide. I may have to reshape the bow, but I think I'll get away with this. I think the front is really much too flat now, but the width is better. I will have to reshape the bow a little bit. But I think this is better than starting on the stern. I don't want to start on the rear section of the boat and then decide that I want to cut it and move it all. I think that is pretty good. It's very square. Okay, all right. Look how far back that goes. So more barrels, please. I think this is sealed, so it should float now. It does need a lot of like air in it as well, because it's obviously got a lot of weight in the bottom, so it's going to need a lot of buoyancy to keep it upright. Steam tug. Steam tug 2. Is that sealed? Okay, this is the only bit that's not sealed, I think. $60,000. Oh, right then. There's a hole somewhere. Probably in one of the steers. Yeah, one of the steers. Steers are always the culprit. If you're immediately sinking, it's your steers. Go. Maybe it's some grid issue. What grid are we on? Red? It did get cut down the middle, so it's probably just a hole somewhere in the middle. It must be this section that's filling up, because this would be the only section big enough to really just sink it straight away. Why? Why? Oh, what the hell? How am I going to find this hole? I can't see it. I can't find it. God damn it. If you guys know, if you've seen a spot that I've missed, could you point it out, please? Tomorrow I want to build the bridge, because I think the bridge is the thing I really want to do right. And I'm going to use XML windows because I want to get like 1x7 windows. So it would be like, here's the seat, but then there'll be a little bit of a dash, then a window, then probably another window, and then a door. But they're going to be on like a real big incline. They're going to be like this. So that's going to be a lot of fun XML. But anyway, let me know if you know what's wrong with this. And also, big tugboat, small tugboat, medium tugboat. What size tugboat do I make? So thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.